Hi, hello everyone who is watching us live today in our live session, which is about doubling your impact and income as a teacher. And I would like to share in this live session about my journey as a teacher and how I managed to double and triple and quadruple my hourly rate. Like, what was behind that? So, why and how I managed to do that. And I would love to hear your stories as well and maybe your examples how you manage to increase your income and impact as a teacher. So, as you already know, I do these live sessions every other week, so every other Wednesday. And every Wednesday or every other Wednesday, when we meet in this live session, I speak about different topics, but all of these topics are related to mindset because I believe that mindset is very important for teachers for many reasons. The very first one, they have influence, or we have influence as teachers and impact on our students. And if our mindset is right, then it's easier for us to guide our students with the right mindset. And also, I remember my own story, how I managed to use different strategies and different methodologies, teaching methodologies, but without changing my mindset, all the strategy and everything I implemented didn't really make much sense. So in this session, I would like to speak about what needs to be present if we want to double our impact and income as teachers. Now, I would like to hear from you. So, who is joining me live today? Just say hi in the comments below and maybe mention where you are joining from and what is your intention for this session. What would you love to achieve from this session by attending this session? I know it's a free session, but your time is valuable and my time is valuable. So, by us setting the intentions and by telling out loud what we want to achieve from this session, is going to make this session more effective and our brain more focused because our brain loves to help us when it knows what the focus is, what the goal of the things is. So, if you can just let me know where you're joining from and what the intentions are for the session, and then I'm going to share the things I wanted to share with you in this session. So, I decided to kind of like split this session in three parts, and if we have time for a bonus, we are going to have it in this session. If not, we are going to have it in the next session. But maybe for those of you who are joining me and you don't know who I am, I just want to introduce myself very quickly, and then I will go into details, maybe of my experience if I need to later when I give you examples. But very shortly, I used to be an ESL teacher myself for quite a few years in three different countries in Spain, the UK, and Slovakia. And I was teaching everybody, literally children, adults. I was teaching different roles, different industries, and different types of English as well, professional English, business English, English for children, general English, and all of that. And then one day I realized like I felt undervalued because I was not charging enough or what I felt I deserved. I also felt I was not making enough impact with just teaching everybody, but nobody properly. And also, I felt undervalued and underestimated as a non-native English teacher. So I will speak about all of that as well later. And basically, then I managed to become a teacher entrepreneur, and this is when I doubled and tripled and quadrupled my hourly rate. And I will just share with you what I actually did to manage to double, triple, and quadruple my hourly rate. And then I felt like, wow, it's possible as a teacher to double, triple, and quadruple your hourly rate. Then I felt like I would love to share this with all the teachers. And I would love to guide them when it comes to mindset so that they can as well charge more and charge what they deserve and also make more impact. So that was me in a nutshell. And that's why I'm working as a growth coach and mindset coach for teachers today. But I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher by profession and by heart. Yeah, I can see Febini is joining from India. Nice to have you here, Febini. And Marcos is joining as well from Argentina. Nice to have you here, Marcos. Bienvenido. Marcos speaks English, but he speaks Spanish as well. And I remember in one of our live sessions, where we spoke about the power of words. I had to speak Spanish, and I think it was quite funny because my Spanish is good, but maybe I sounded funny at some points when I was pronouncing some words. So thank you so much, Marcos, for being here and supporting me and supporting all the other teachers. So basically, let me just start with the first thing I want to share with you. So, mindset shift, owning your value. And one very important thing I want to say is that we can double our income and impact only when we double our value. So that what does it mean? How can you double your value? We can double our value by the way we look at us, at what we can do, at what kind of results we can bring to our students. So this is how we can double our value. And I just remember as an ESL teacher working in London, in the UK, I was earning about £12.50 per hour, which was about $15 per hour, which was barely to just survive on this money in London. And I really wanted to earn more money. And for me, like just earning double more was like a dream come true. And forget about $50 and $100 and so on. So I was before, I didn't see myself as a valuable teacher. And because of that, I was getting the money I was getting. But then, of course, with the help of other people who already were more aware than I was at that point, they were encouraging me to see my value, to see myself as a valuable teacher. And I listened to them. So, what I did, I was walking, back home from school, walking like a teacher that sees her value. I was eating as a teacher who sees her value. I was teaching as a teacher who sees her value. I was traveling as a teacher who sees her value. So I was, in a way, adopting this new image of a teacher who sees her value. And that's what I had been doing, what I had been doing for a few months, like pretty much consistently. Of course, there was off and off, on and off, or up and down. I didn't manage to be in this energy where I saw my value or when I was doubling my value every single day, but I was always intending to come back. And when I managed to do that, when I saw how I could double my value, I was getting double more per hour. So I was doubling my hourly rate. And at this point, actually, when I was doing that, I didn't change anything. I didn't get more qualified at that point. I didn't try or acquire new skills or new strategies. I was doing the same thing I was doing before, but I was just seeing myself differently. And that's why I managed to then charge 30 euros per hour, which is about over $30 per hour. So I doubled my hourly rate again by not doing anything differently. At that point, I already read an ebook, which was an ebook by James Liu, for those of you who don't know him. And he was writing about how teachers can get online students independently, like on social media. And at that point, I I already was practicing this doubling my value, but when I saw it confirmed in that book that it's possible for a teacher to charge more and to double their impact, I was kind of having this confirmation from the external person or book as well. And then when I managed to attract this opportunity in a school where I was actually charging over 30 euros per hour. And so again, I didn't change any strategy at this point. And now I would like to encourage you to do an exercise with me and I will guide you through it. So the very first question would be, how much would you like people to pay you for what you do as a teacher? So how much would you love other people, students, right? If you are a teacher, to pay you for what you do? If you can maybe share it with me. If you don't want to share it here, just think about that or write it on a piece of paper or somewhere where it's quite visible. So, how much would you like others to pay you for what you do? Maybe I would like to encourage you to at least double your hourly rate. So, whatever you're earning right now, to at least double it. So, that's the first thing, to be kind of clear how much you would love others to pay you. And what really helped me At that point, when I was doubling my hourly rate, was to see what I would do with that money, how that money would make me be even more valuable as a teacher. So I was thinking, wow, if I double my income or my hourly rate, I could invest more in myself. And if I invest more in myself, of course, my students are going to benefit from it as well. Then I said, if I double my income, my hourly rate, I can travel more. And if I travel more, I'm more fulfilled, I'm more energized, I'm more knowledgeable, I'm more open. And I'm going to benefit from it. My friends are going to benefit from it. My family is going to benefit from it. And my students are going to benefit from it. Then I thought if I had double more what I have, I would buy the best organic and fresh food. And that would make me feel healthy and energized and strong in my body. So I would show up stronger and more energized in the classroom. Also, I said, if I earned double more, I would invest in the charity of my preference, of my choice, and it's Every Village Matters, which is a charity that supports children with education at the moment in sub-Saharan Africa, in Nigeria, but in other African countries as well. And I would invest even more to what I was investing at that time. And there were many more things I would do with that money if I had double more. So it's important to know how much would you love to be paid by your students, and how could that money help you feel happier, or even more having a more comfortable lifestyle, and maybe being able to do or being free to do the things you love doing. So again, ask yourself this question: how much would you like people to pay you? And what would you do with this money? So that's the first question. Please feel free to share it with me if you want to. That would be great. That we could just celebrate together as you manage already to increase your value by just saying out loud how much you would love others to pay you. Now, the second question I have: what makes a teacher valuable? So, if you can think about this question, what makes a teacher valuable? Is it just the qualification that the teacher has? I remember, so I didn't study teaching, that was not my initial profession. I studied translation and interpreting. So I knew English language inside out because we were studying it in detail, but I didn't study pedagogy and I didn't study teaching. And I remember when I started teaching, just kind of unofficially on different platforms. And one of the students studied with me for 9 months. And after 9 months, he was about A1 level. He managed to get a job in Ireland. So he was from Slovakia and he managed to get a job in Ireland after 9 months or maybe 1 year. And for me, that was just amazing. So then when I think back, and if I ask you a question, what makes a teacher valuable? So at that time, that was maybe 8 or 9 years ago. Now I don't remember exactly. I didn't have any qualification as a teacher. I knew the English language because I studied it, but I didn't have teaching qualification. And yet I was able to help this student get a job in Ireland by passing an interview. So what makes a teacher valuable? If you can share it with me. And I can see a few more people are joining. Nice to have you here, Helena. And Ardna is here as well. Nice to have you here. So, what makes a teacher valuable? Ardna is saying the teacher's feedback. Hmm. So, yes, feedback is very important and it shows you how well you're doing as a teacher, or maybe things you can improve, and you can even increase your value and improve your skills. Yes, I agree. But I just want to ask you, do only skills and experience itself makes a teacher valuable? At that time, I'm referring back to me. Please refer to your stories and share your stories with me. If you manage to bring value and feel yourself or see yourself as valuable without enough experience, without qualifications, without enough skills. So I have experienced that, and I'm sure many of you have experienced that as well. But just to answer this question, I ask you, what makes a teacher valuable is the transformation and the results you can bring to your students. So I'm not saying qualification is not important. I did get qualified later and I did have more experience later. And of course, I was even a better teacher. So all of this is amazing and it's good. But what I'm trying to say is that our value doesn't necessarily depend on our qualification, on our skills, on our experience, although that definitely helps and is important, but it depends on what kind of results and transformation you can bring to your students. So that student of mine who got the job in Ireland, he potentially didn't care if I'm qualified or not. He wanted to get a job in Ireland and he wanted to learn the skills for him to feel good enough or capable to pass the interview. I know many teachers who have a lot of qualification, and it's great to have qualification, but yet they don't feel valuable and they don't feel like they are bringing results to their students or they are making enough impact or transformation. Or maybe they even make transformation, but they don't pay any attention to it. And then they just regard or like just they see themselves as valuable as their salary shows them to be. So, kind of like they derive their value from the salary they earn. But is that true? Is that correct? Is it how it should be? Should we be should we be regarded as valuable as our salary is? I would like to challenge you, if you think this way, to see your value based on the transformation and results you bring to your students. They may either get a job in the country they desire to live in, they may have better relationships with their other students or maybe other colleagues and clients they work with. They may be able to travel and just communicate freely with the people in foreign countries. They may be able to do better business with international professionals and businesses. They may have better workplace relationships because of your presence in their life. So, in this first step, I would like you to see your value by the results and transformation you bring to your students. And feel free to mention here what kind of transformation and results you brought to your students that you remember that they told you or you saw. Just think about it. Think about a time when a student had a breakthrough just because of you. So that's the first step. If we want to double our income, our hourly rate, right, or even double our impact, we need to see that in ourselves or by ourselves first. We need to see our value being doubled first and what kind of value we bring to our students. So I want to encourage you to do that. And if this is the only thing you will take from this session, I want you to take this. You need to work on doubling your value, the way you see yourself as a teacher and how much valuable you are. And I even say, I mentioned it somewhere already before, that teachers are the ones who are teaching the future doctors, lawyers, the future leaders, and yet they are not valued as much as those other people they teach. And that's not really what we want, right? We want to be valued as much as the society values those people we teach. And for society to value teachers, we need to know how to value ourselves. And I remember when I was a child, and my parents, when they were children, they said, like, but actually, teachers were really valued at that time. So I don't know what happened after that. Maybe that was like 30 years ago or 20 years ago when still teachers were valued, maybe 30 years ago. But something happened then. Then it changed for some reason. And then we have the situation as we have today. But I am still very hopeful that this change must happen from within us teachers, to make the society value us and our students and everybody else. Okay, so that was the first thing I wanted to speak about. Now, the second one, which is very important as well, will be about identifying your strengths and weaknesses. So, I wanted to ask you, uh, what are the things you're already very good at and that justifies you should at least get double more per hour? If you can just mention those strengths in the chat here, it's going to be good if you can all say it. If you want to just write it for yourself at your piece of paper, that's okay as well. Or you just want to say it out loud or just in your mind. But think about the strengths you have that you can already justify that they are good enough to bring value to others, and then you deserve at least double more per hour. So, Andrea is saying, giving personalization in lessons. How valuable is that, Andrea? Thank you for sharing. Imagine a student who has watched a lot of YouTube videos. They already understand present perfect inside out, okay? But yet, when they make their sentences or just produce the language, they make mistakes, right? They are doing something and it's not quite correct. And imagine they get feedback from Andrea, personalized feedback, how much it means to them. And then with this new corrected language, which is a more fluent, effective language, they can present or communicate whatever they want with others. Their life has been improved just because of Andrea's strength of being able to give personalization in lessons. Now, I had a student who whose English was very good. He understood all the tenses and everything, sometimes even better than me. His just English was really, really good. And yet, he was worried to leave his country, Slovakia, and move to Amsterdam because he felt he was not confident enough. He was shy. And he had at least C1 level of English, if not C2. So at C1 level, you can travel and you can work in a new country, I would say you very easily, right? But for this student of mine, it was difficult because he felt like his mindset um is not following really his dreams, like what he wants. So his mindset was his obstacle. The way he saw himself, his confidence or lack of confidence was his obstacle. And why I'm saying this, in our sessions, we didn't really practice any new language. We were just conversing in English, and I was just giving him more and more confidence with each of our sessions. And it was just so amazing to see how his confidence was increasing and growing with every single session of ours. And I felt like, yes, this is my strength. I can help others with their confidence so that they feel valued, they feel good enough, they feel confident enough to travel and find jobs in the countries they want to live in. So many of you, I'm sure, when you are in sessions with your clients, you don't just teach them the language, which is important, but you also give them confidence, encouragement that they can do it with already their existing level of language and knowledge. So acknowledge that if this is your strength. Um, Febini is saying understanding with empathy. Yes. And I don't know how many of you have learned English from scratch. I have. So I'm a non native English speaker. And I appreciate this language so much. And I'm learning this language every day. And because I'm learning it every day, I've learned it from scratch. I do have a lot of empathy towards those people who are learning this language from scratch and any other language from scratch. So maybe you've learned English from scratch. Maybe you've learned other languages from scratch or other skills. It doesn't even have to be languages, it can be some other skills. And now you're able to be more empathetic towards those students who maybe are not getting it as fast or maybe who are not progressing as fast as they want to. How important it is. Your empathy is worth everything, it's worth all the money. And definitely at least doubling your hourly rate. Feel free to give me more examples about your strengths, but it's so important to be aware of your strengths, the things that you do naturally with your eyes closed. So what do you do with your eyes closed that you don't even think about it? It's actually you. This is who you are. And sometimes you take it for granted. So what's valuable to others may be kind of obvious or taken for granted when it comes to you. But the other way around would be good. Like if you actually saw the value yourself and didn't take these strengths for granted, but by you being aware of them, you could even magnify them and multiply them. So that's the first thing. Now, the second one is an interesting one, but it's important to be aware about your weaknesses as well, because that's how we keep developing ourselves. If there are areas of our life when we may struggle in, or they are not as strong as other areas, it's very important to identify them. Then I will tell you in the next step what we do with those areas. But if you can just maybe think about one weakness that you may have, and the weakness that is preventing you from presenting your services and teaching offers and programs with at least double hourly rate, okay, or double income. So what is the weakness that you think may be preventing you from presenting your services at an increased rate or at a double rate? And Andrea is actually coming back to the strengths as well, saying helping students use what they've learned in daily context. Yes, exactly. So it's so important to already kind of consolidate what is existing there. And that's how we can do very good scaffolding as teachers, because this way we will make those students already feel confident enough, like, yeah, there is a lot of, or there are a lot of things I already know. Now, how I can use them even better, how I can leverage these things I already know even better. So yes, that's a very important strength. Now, about weaknesses. So for example, I will share mine. Okay, so when I became a teacher entrepreneur, I tripled my hourly rate. So I was earning about $50 per hour, charging this to psychologists who were my students at that time, because I chose a niche, right? That's how you can um, increase your rate even more, because if you have a specific group of students, it's easier for you to understand their specific problems, challenges, and results. And because of that, you have a more specific or tailored programs and services for them. So that's how I could justify tripling my hourly rate. And then I was earning about $50 to $60 per hour. And I really wanted to earn even more. I wanted to go to 80 and 90 per hour and 100. And I really struggled. So the weakness I had at the time, I felt that selling is, I don't know what the word is. I didn't say immoral. I knew it wasn't immoral, but like selling is not just is hard, but selling shouldn't be happening. Like it's not good to be selling, right? To students. And that was my weakness. I saw selling as a bad thing as a teacher, because I was used to do a lot of things for free and helping everybody for free or at a very cheap or and low rate before. And then when I was encouraged, right, by my mentors to charge more as a teacher entrepreneur, I already charged 50. And for me, it was like already amazing. But I struggled to charge more because I had this belief in my head that selling is bad, is not good. Because of that, I couldn't increase my hourly rate. It was hard for me to increase it. So I need to be aware what my weakness was, or what was stopping me, what was the obstacle for me not to charge more or not to increase my hourly rate. So think about the weakness that you have. And then in the third step, I'm going to share with you what you can do with that weakness. Yeah, so I hope you already have this example for yourself. Feel free to share again. And now in this next step, you would ask yourself, how would the best version of me as a teacher I would love to be, as an example I would love to be, how would I present my offers differently? And in this way, you're going to rely on your strengths, the things that you're already doing well, that can bring value to your students. And then you will see how your weaknesses can grow into your strengths, because you're going to work on them. You're going to work on your weaknesses, at least one of them. But the most important thing is to focus on your strengths already, because this is something you don't even have to do much about. So you are already unconsciously competent with these skills. As I said, you do that with your eyes closed. As Andrea mentioned, she's personalizing her lessons and she's empathetic towards her students, so she doesn't have to try hard to do that. She's doing it automatically. Okay, so think about that. And then we will go through to the third part. But think about like what kind of version you would have to be, or how would your best self present your offers and programs. And I was imagining myself. I was imagining how I'm presenting my offers and how I'm getting at least $100 per hour as a teacher. And that I was really fascinated by this flipped classroom model where they learn the theory at home or they watch a few videos and things, and then I help them implement that in the session. So there can be more personalized help and support in the session because I don't have to go through the theory with them. So I was imagining like I'm already sharing these videos with them, they can watch at home, and then the session is purely about them and them practicing what I need to practice. And I was imagining like the best self of the best version or the best self was imagining how they are leaving the sessions feeling really more confident and more like happier after these sessions because they understand the language better and they feel more confident when it comes to implementing this language. So again, how would this best self yourself present your offers? That would be the question. And now I already kind of started the last one, which is really the pricing confidence formula in a way. So the very first thing is I want you to visualize yourself confidently mentioning your new rate to a client who says yes. So maybe in your case, I don't know, let's say you're earning $15 per hour and you would love to earn 30. Maybe you're earning 50 and you would like to earn 100. So, whatever the example is, just imagine or visualize yourself increasing your hourly rate and at least doubling it. If it feels too much for you, we can change it to a little bit later. But now I would like to challenge you to imagine at least doubling your income, your hourly rate. So, I was doing the same thing when I said to you I was earning about $60 or so, and I really wanted to earn $100. So, as I was visualizing it, and I said to you already how I was visualizing I'm doing the flipped classroom model. I was visualizing the students just not just saying yes, but literally having like a queue of students waiting for just to work with me. And I know we have many teachers that we support who have a queue of students waiting for their services. They literally have to be on a wait list. And I was imagining the same thing back then about for myself, like just to have so many students they have to wait just to work with me. And I was imagining that. And now the the second thing here would be the practical step is to create this premium offer. So what does your program include for you to be able to charge double more? So what is it? Do you have more personalized feedback so they have already these videos to watch at home, and then when they come to the session they are only um, practicing with you? Or do you have more on the go services and help that they can get help without even meeting you too often? I know one of our teachers has that. So she supports her students literally like a few times a week just by sending audio messages on WhatsApp. They record it back when they can on the go as well, and they get feedback on the go because they are very busy to be able to meet once or twice a week in person in live. So, what is it that can help your program become a premium program? Or is it the fact that you need to describe it in a more attractive way, what they are going to get out of working with you? Maybe instead of telling them, oh, would you like to learn English with me? Saying, would you like to improve your English so that you can get promoted, so that you can build your relationships with your colleagues, with your clients, with other international professionals, or in order to travel and feel confident with your language as you travel, whatever they would like to have, depending on your niche, on the group of students you would like to help. But what if you connected or associated your English lessons or other lessons that you have? You don't have to be an English teacher, with the results, with the dreams your students would like to have and achieve. Because If you just describe your offer as, oh, let's learn English with me, there are so many other teachers who just teach English, and nobody's really learning English just for the sake of learning English, unless there are some language enthusiasts. There are quite a few of them, and I know them too. But most of the people learn English or learn any language, any skill for a reason. In my case, I was learning English because I wanted to travel and live in foreign countries. For some other, they may want to get promoted or improve their relationships, but they learn English for a reason. So the question is, how can you create this premium offer so that you can at least double your hourly rate and your income? What would need to be present in your offer? Share it with me, or just keep it to yourself, but think about it. And in the last step here would be to commit to an atomic action, meaning what is one thing you can already improve and change right now to double your impact and income as a teacher today. I remember when I was saying to you I was earning about $50 to $60 and I wanted to earn $100. So what was my atomic task? Actually, it was not an atomic task, it was a big task. But anyway, I knew that if somebody is supposed to invest in me $100 per hour, then I need to be able to invest in somebody else as well that money. So kind of I need to be willing to invest well in myself by working with another coach to help me with my mindset, my confidence, if I want other students to invest in me by working on their skills. And that's when I invested quite a lot of money. At that time, it was like 8,000 euros just to work with a coach who would help me understand my brain better, my mindset better, and how I can make even more impact and be more effective with what I do as a teacher entrepreneur. And as I did that, that was my atomic task. It was a huge task. It was very scary to do it, but I felt it was right to invest in myself. Then, when I saw this $100 per hour, literally within 2 months, or actually 1 month, when I got paid for the first time over 1,000 from one student who paid ahead for a program, not just for a session. So, what would be your atomic task? What would be something you will do today or tomorrow to increase your hourly rate, ideally to double your hourly rate, and this way as well to double your impact? What could it be? Maybe you're going to raise your rates at least by $1 or $2 to your existing students. Maybe you're going to invest in yourself and work with a coach who could show you how to find more students on social media. Or maybe you're going to listen to some motivational, maybe speeches, or read a motivational book just to get kind of like some help with your mindset and to feel that your confidence is increasing. Or maybe you're going to reach out to more potential students who may want to work with you, maybe on LinkedIn, maybe on Facebook, maybe somewhere on other social media or through personal contacts. Maybe you're going to reach out to one friend of yours who knows another person who may want to work with you. What is that one thing you can do to increase your rate, maybe even double your rate and impact? Maybe it's even just practicing this increased rate in front of the mirror. Or maybe it will be visualizing yourself every day, just having this increased rate, doubling your hourly rate. What it is, just share it with me. Maybe it can be adding a premium feature to your current program or services or membership or an app that you have. So it's very important to have these two things. So I said to you at the very beginning when we started this session, in order to double your income and impact, you need to double your value, the way you see yourself. So that's the inner work, okay? But then that's not enough. So first of all, yes, you have to be at the level or at the frequency of the person who would be naturally getting double more and making double more impact. But at the same time, you have to take action. So it's a combination of two. One thing can be this value mindset and visualizing yourself, having it and seeing yourself as a valuable teacher. But then you have to take an action which is congruent with that mindset, with that belief of the person who already charges double more. And again, I'm asking you, what is that action? Just commit to it today and share it with me if you want to. I'll be happily reading it. Now, I also want to share with you other events that we have, and also I will share with you what you can attend for free, and um, maybe just learn more about how you can increase your value and your income and your impact. So let me just share my screen with you and share with you what other events we have at Bowie. So this month, actually tomorrow, April the 3rd, we have at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 5 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Central European Time, a webinar called Get Students from China with RedNote. So Katie and James are going to speak about it. So if that's the type of students you would like to get, some students from China, it would be a good event for you to attend. You just need to click here, register for free, and you can attend this event. So it's tomorrow. And then another bigger event, we call it a membership webinar, which is called Work Less and Earn More with Memberships. So this could be a very good way to increase your value and also to double your income and impact. And it's a 2-hour free webinar where you will learn how you can get students that will be in your membership, meaning they will be paying you every month for your services. So it will be like a monthly subscription, and maybe even what you can provide as part of this subscription. So if that's something you may be interested in, then you can register for free as well. And this one is on the 23rd of April, so in 21 days from now. So these 2 events. And then, as I said to you, my mindset sessions are every other week on Wednesday. So the next one is going to be in 2 weeks from now, the same time always. And it's going to be another mindset session. So I'm going to share this link with you so you can access it and just attend any of those events. I think you will benefit from them. Okay, so I hope you can open the link. I've shared the link with you. And maybe you can even let me know. We are going to wrap up right now, but you can let me know what kind of topics you would like to speak about, or you would like to learn more about or practice in the future mindset sessions of mine. And whatever you write, I will do my best to prepare for those topics, because that's the best way, right, to support others, by knowing what exactly they want and then just prepare for that. So that's going to be a very customized session for you. Just let me know if you can. And yes, Xandri, thank you so much for being here, and everybody else who joined me today. You can share even your takeaways, what you are taking away from this session, what resonated with you, and you would like to really implement and embody in your daily life. Just share that with me if you can. And we are going to wrap up, and I'll see you again in 2 months. 2 months from now. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're going to watch the recordings as well, I'm going to read your comments, and I will just respond to those too, or maybe even respond to any questions that you have. All the best, and have a good day, and value yourselves as teachers. Take care. Bye bye.